We are here today to promote the Breakout Room, Canada's newest comedy competition that is all virtual, it being the end of the world and all.
Apocalypse comedy.
Apocalypse comedy, apocalypse.
People are going to be upset that there are not llamas.
Yeah, that is exactly where I went as well. The llama apocalypse, the alpacalamity. This is why Alice named the show. All of my suggestions were rejected in a very kind way. Ellie,
Yes.
what is the Breakout Room to you?
The Breakout Room is where I go when I am having a lot of acne and don't want to be seen by anyone. Sorry, the Breakout Room is an excellent virtual comedy competition where you can work on comedy and tell jokes, lots of fun, and no acne whatsoever. No acne allowed.
We are open to skin types of all kind. We have no bigotry of any kind on our show, especially to people with bad skin. Or no, not bad skin, textured skin. I think that might be worse.
It might be worse.
Your skin's not bad, babe. It's just textured.
It's just got a lot of details. When I'm breaking out, I like to think of myself as being a work of pointillism art.
It just makes you more unique looking. And if they're big enough, more pointed. Textually, yeah, I can come off cool. In person, no, I am not cool. I am not cool at all.
I'm so bad at hiding my not chillness.
Have you ever heard my Burt Ward story?
No, I haven't. You'll have to tell me about it.
All right. It sounds sexy and I love it. It is not sexy. Oh my god, it is one of my favorite stories to tell. So we are going to jump right into the Q&A. I will go first. We each have questions numbered 1 to 6, and we're going to roll our D6s and answer questions according to the number. You've all seen Serious and Sober. You know how this game works. Number 1. All right. Ellie.
Yes.
Tell me a story where you just come off like an insane person.
Oh, there are too many.
Just the first one that came to mind.
When I was 20, I used to work at a call center, and I would get off work at 11:30, and that was too late to go to the bars. And because I was 20, I wanted to be going to the bars all the time. So instead of going out and drinking, I would just get home and get myself ready, and then go walk around downtown where all the bars were, and I would David Attenborough all the drunk people. I would just be sneaking around, being and here we have the drunk sorority girls in their natural habitat. And I wasn't quiet about it. And sometimes I had people with me, but sometimes I would just say it to the other drunk people that were around. And I miss it a lot, actually.
So I actually have a series of videos where I made a documentary about fire hydrants as if I was the crocodile hunter stumbling upon them. And there is one where I sing Kumbaya with a hydrant. I sent it to a bunch of my friends, one of which responded with, "Are you okay?" Clearly not. All right, your turn to ask me a question.
4. We're starting off with a banger. Are farts or burps funnier, and why?
I think
that was my chair, I swear.
I was gonna say burps, but I think you just proved my thesis wrong. I love both. I just I think I am that person who thinks bodily functions are funny because I don't know, I'm low class, whatever, lowbrow.
I never stopped being a 12-year-old.
And I was traumatized from farting because because I'm a gassy person. I just not even before I was a vegetarian, I've just always been gassy. My childhood nickname had poo in it level of gassy. Yeah, it's not funny. It is, well, anyway.
Yeah.
So there was I once farted during silent reading in grade 3.
Oh no.
That was my reaction. I just started laughing, and I laughed so hard that I farted again.
I love fart laugh.
Tee toots. everyone in my class heard and did not find it funny. They did not, because they were all like poised and proper 9-year-olds.
Clearly, they did not have a sense of humor.
So they start calling me the gas bomb, stinky, everything. Horrible, because kids. And then an event happens in September of 2001 that they decided to blame me for.
No.
This went on for years. Yeah, they would say that I farted and caused that to happen.
It doesn't even make sense.
I know. So I was crying about it once, 2 years later, and a teacher comes over and he's just like, hey, what you crying about? Are you okay? And I'm just like, Mikey said I caused 9/11. And he looks at me without missing a beat and just goes, well, did you? Yeah! I'm just like, no! And he goes, well, then you have no reason to cry about it, and walks away. And I'm just like, so now I'm just crying and mad. So because of trauma and because I can burp on command, I was going to say burps. But then you farted, so.
I didn't fart, it was my chair.
We will let the comments decide.
Okay, I'm not going to win this.
We're going to do a poll. Did Ellie fart?
Okay, but like usually if I fart, I'm proud of it. So
yeah, like I always say, like I wouldn't deny a fart. Being accused of a fart that you didn't do is the worst, because what do you do?
Especially if it's like a loud fart, I would have been proud of that if it was actually me.
A lot of my really loud farts, they come with a, it's a show. There's no hiding that ever, you know it was me. My turn to ask you a question. How would you want someone you admire to describe you?
Funny, kind, intimidating. Funny, kind, and intimidating. Those are what I want to be.
I would describe you as like 2 out of 3. It doesn't matter which. 2 out of 3. That was so off key.
It's okay. We're not producing American Idol here. This is the Breakout Room.
Your turn to ask me a question.
Okay, nice again. What is your biggest aspiration outside of comedy? And if you weren't a comedian, what would you be doing instead?
So I live a double life already. I am a social work student because my entire life's goal is to bring some kind of happiness to people. That's all I want to do, if it's either through making them laugh through comedy or helping them find themselves or whatever kind of journey they're on through social work. I want to be a part of that for people and for my community.
I love that. And also, you bring so much joy, at least to my life. So, great success.
Thank you. All I want to be is just I used to hear people described as a light. And that's just all I want to be, is just like something good to people.
And you are.
Cool. Good. Done. Tick. Did it. Now it is my turn to ask you a question.
Ooh, I'm ready. I picked Dare.
If you could fly, would you fly high or low?
Depends on if I feel like going commando that day. Part of me wants to leave it up to audience interpretation whether which one would correlate with flying and which one correlates with flying low.
Interpret at will. Your turn.
2. That was my chair again, by the way. Yeah. What is the biggest hurdle as a non-cishet male comedian that you've had to face?
Being made fun of before I go up on stage.
Worst.
It's different to poke fun at someone's tie and than it is to poke at someone's gender identity.
Yeah.
But I have to say, like, I've also been celebrated by random, like, cishet guys on stage, which is really cool. Like, there was one time I went up and I was just like, you may think that I'm the staple female comedian on this set, but joke's on you, whoever tried to get me, you fucked up, I'm non-binary. Or, like, something like that. It was probably funnier. So then the headliner goes up and they say how like they just love being on sets with me and how it's like one of the reasons they love being a traveling comedian is they get to see so many different parts of cultures and communities. That's something I love about comedy as well, is so many people do it. And it just sucks when the people that do it are doing it to make fun of other people instead of poking fun at the absurdity of their own lives, because you make so much content from a day-to-day, like, life is hilarious. Make fun of that. There's only so far you can go.
Like, you don't know about the topic, you're not going to be able to make very funny jokes about it.
At most, I would say, like, you can poke fun about how you don't know. You poke fun at your own ignorance, the ignorance of others. You can do that, but you can't break something down because you don't understand it. That's not comedy, that's bullying. And we all know how fun that was on the playground. Do you remember the joke or moment that made you say, I can do this?
I would say, honestly, like from my first set, I knew I wanted to do comedy like before, like for like a long, long time before I did my first set. But like while I was doing my first ever set, like I was actually, like, not to brag, but like I was doing really well for a first set. It was really good. It was also only supposed to be a 10-minute set, but I didn't get the light until I had been on stage for 16 minutes because the host of the show was stoned because it was in a weed room, and also was just like enjoying my set that much that he like wasn't paying attention to the clock. There was like one joke in there that absolutely killed that I still use to this day. Even like it made it from like my first set like to like I still use it. It's just like a little throwaway one liner. Like whenever I need to like change topics, I just like saying like, oh shit, I'm having a brain fart. You guys know the things with like the two wheels and then the handlebars, and you stand on it, you just kind of go. And then somebody in the audience always is like a segue, and I'm like, right, perfect, next topic, let's go. And then like that killed that night, and I really like it. It's like still my favorite like one liner and like a good way whenever I don't know how to segue between topics. That one liner like really kind of gave me the rush of like, yeah, that one's good. I got to keep doing this. I remember stepping off stage, and the very first thing I said to like, I don't remember who I actually spoke to first when I got off stage, but like the first thing I said was, I want to do this for the rest of my life. So that whole set, really.
Yeah, that's a moment. Like, you even have the line at the end. That's a movie moment. That'll be in your biography.
If I get famous enough to have a biography written about me.
Something I realized, like, because like I've always wanted to write a book, and a few of the things that I've always wanted to write about are like myself, my life, my story, because heck, I'm kind of interesting. My life is anyway. But I've always thought like I have to wait till I'm famous first until I can write a book, because I have to write a book about this person. But then I realized like I don't have to wait to be someone to write a book. Sometimes you can just be someone who wrote a book.
I mean, like, I guess the main question is, like, you can always write a book, but, like, at what level of fame does it go from being a diary to being an autobiography?
Imagine, like, you get famous from your personal memoir. Does it become an autobiography?
I vote yes.
We're not letting anyone else decide. That's for us. We've decided. Next question.
Okay. This one is my turn to roll the dice now, right? Oh, I like this one. I like this one a lot. If you were stuck on a deserted island and you could only bring one joke with you, what's the joke you would bring?
U.S. Navy? Would the Canadian Navy have been better?
I don't know. I feel like
I don't know enough about the military.
neither do I, but I like making fun of Americans.
That's actually like my split second of I can do my country or theirs. I'll do theirs. Yeah. Tell me about your first bomb.
My first bomb? Oh, it was bad. It was so bad. I don't remember what jokes I told, but I just remember nobody laughed at anything, and it was so awkward the whole time. It was like early into my stand-up career too. I hadn't built up the confidence of having like a lot of shows that I had done well on. It literally felt like a fucking cartoon where like the sweat was dripping and like I swear I could hear crickets. I made a joke. There was the punchline. Here's where you should be laughing, and it's just like one person, like, oh, it was pain.
Yeah.
It was an awkward time, but it was a good growing experience, a good learning experience. I think every comedian needs to bomb at some point to like humble themselves at the very least, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. I I've only ever kind of bombed. I haven't had an absolute bomb yet. And I'm just like people say that, but I'm just fucking like I'm just ready. Like I'm not getting in my head. I'm not being like I am that without a bomb. I did my farting, so I am done. Like
All right, what is the silliest thing you have ever done? And do you regret it? Or do you regret not being even sillier in that moment?
oh my god. I first of all, I can't think of anything. Second of all, I definitely don't regret it. I never regret my silliness. It's just a part of who I am. I like to be silly. I'm so pass. I'm recording.
Show your cat. Show your cat.
There he is. When my baby of the color gray. Your eyes are the kind that make me wanna say, I love you. I love you. I love you so much. Why do you let me do this? Why do you let me?
Oh no! Where did you go? Rae, you abandoned me. Well, now it's the Ellie and Ellie show. Hello, I'm Ellie. And I am also Ellie. We're gonna wait till Rae gets back. Or I can ask the camera the questions. So, camera, what do you think? Are farts or burps sillier? And why? Dominoes! Hi.
I don't. Oh, I know what happened. When I have a touch screen, so when I went to go adjust my computer, I closed it. It is my turn to ask you my last question, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Approximately how many things have you licked that are not Tootsie Pops?
At least 7?
That has to be right.
7, but like probably more.
Probably more than 7.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Probably more than 7.
Yeah. But at least.
At least. Okay.
What inspired you to start stand-up comedy?
Honestly, my dad. Like he just really likes stand up, so I was just around it a lot growing up. So I've always like kind of like you know this. I've always been trying to push him to try it because I know he wants to, but he is afraid he'll be bad. And I'm just like, sometimes you have to suck in order to get good at something. You don't start being good until after you've been bad. My dad's passion for comedy that he barely acknowledges is just something that I've always been around. Like I was talking to my therapist the other day about how I process everything with humor. Like it's just that is how I deal with everything. If something awful is happening, I'm laughing while talking about it. It's just of something I am working on. Clearly, if I'm bringing it up, I love comedy. It's something that I've always been around. It's something that I understand. It's something that I love, and it's something that I like. I like doing things like this because I want to help other people do comedy too. I want to help other people find their voice. Like I'm gonna like social work comedians. I think.
I love it so much.
Thank you.
That's like such a heartwarming answer, and like also a testament to how we're also the same person, because my dad also super inspired me to do comedy. Like he was like the one that planted the seed when I was like a child, and then like years later, like it was even after he had like passed away, like I started like going to comedy shows, and my friend was the one that was like, you should do comedy. But like even before she told me and like pushed me to like actually actually try it. Like, I remember my dad was always telling me about like the rules of comedy. Like, he was always telling me about that. He was always like bragging about the first joke he ever wrote, which I'm actually going to put right now because I love him and it's a good one for like a first joke. What did the pepper say to the salt? How dare you insult me? It's not a good joke, but it was my dad's and I love it.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I even remember like the first time I wrote a joke, like the first joke I ever came up with. I remember telling it to him, and he was so proud of me for coming up with my first joke that he told all his friends. He was like, "Joelle came up with a joke. You got to listen to this." And like, and it also wasn't a very good joke, but it was just like 3 guys walk into a bar. You think the third one would have ducked? Which I'm actually still really proud of, low-key.
That is a great first joke. Oh my goodness. Do you want to hear my first joke?
Yes.
So I'm 18 and I'm at Universal Studios with a group of my friends, and someone drops a glass bottle of this red juice. And I look around and I say, so I just started wearing these glass tampons and they're great, but my period hasn't stopped.
Oh no. That's funny.
I hate that that's my first joke, but I love it. I love it so much. I told it my first time on stage, which was not my first time on stage. Like, I have 3 first times.
Hot.
Yeah. And in comedy, too. So for our final question that Ellie and I will be both answering, who is your favorite comedian?
Oh, that's mean. I can't just pick one. Famous comedians or like local comedians?
So this is a question that our contestants are asked. Who is your favorite comedian? And I don't know my favorite answer or my answer of my favorite comedian. I probably have a favorite answer for this question, but I don't have an answer for my favorite comedian.
If I had to pick like a famous comedian, which I'm much more comfortable doing because I don't want to like choose a favorite of my friends. That just feels mean. But like favorite famous comedian, I would probably say it's a toss up between like Donald Glover and John Mulaney. I just love both of them so much.
My top 2 that I answer are John Mulaney, twinsies, and Hannah Gadsby.
Excellent choices. So
I love her so much. Before we go, I want to introduce. Yeah. So before we go, I want to properly introduce Ellie. We've known each other since we were like 14 and 15. High school together. We grew up in Niagara, in various places in Niagara. Well, like I was always in one area and they were always in different areas.
Sometimes. That's an inside joke that's just never going to get old.
Ellie is one of the pinnacle people that taught me to embrace my weirdness, and I wouldn't be who I am without. I am so grateful to have you in my life, and holy heck, the fact that you and I grew up to be the same person after being separated when you moved too far on the other side of Niagara. Like, so Ellie and I are both stand-up comedians,
mm-hmm.
polyamorous,
mm-hmm.
non-binary,
mm-hmm. super queer.
Oh my god, we're so gay. And we're witches. We're both witches. Yeah. And I feel like there's another one. Like we do have so much in common, but like the fact that we both grew up to be gay poly witches is just like who do stand up.
How did we live the same life even though we like got separated for a decade?
Yeah, it's people like you that make me believe in platonic soulmates.
Really sweet stuff you said about me helping you embrace your weirdness is exactly how I feel about you helping me embrace mine.
No way! I just assumed you were already weird.
I was, but like you helped me be comfortable with it instead of being like, well, I'm weird anyways. I guess I'll just do it.
I'm so happy.
I love you.
I love you too. I'm so happy that we get to do this project together. Holy heck! This has been the first little snippet of Ellie and Rae not being that gay. Just kidding, we are gay in every way.
Super gay.
Super
Is
gay,
that our
super
new theme
gay.
song?
Yeah, we have a theme song now. Super gay, super gay.
Gay.
Gay in every way, super gay in every way, every way, every way, every way, every way. Oh, 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 oh. Anyway, so let's do the serious outro. This has been Ellie and Rae.
This has been Ellie and Rae getting sidetracked for an hour.
Oh my goodness, it has been an hour. Oh well. So this has been Ellie and Rae and our Q&A, and I hope that you have a good day. Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray!
Oh, I love it.